Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. So for today I have got a fun one. For today I'll be doing the new makeup releases tag video. Angelica-Nyqvist, she always does this and every year I look forward to it as well. So I just want to dive in and get to it. I absolutely love tag videos. I think they are so much fun to watch and film. Definitely play along as well. So the first question is, what mainstream release lived up to the hype most this year? For me personally, I feel like Natasha Denona in general, all her launches are very hyped up, but for me, my personal favorite, which is what's on my eyes today, this is the Yucca palette right here. I just fell in love with this. Obviously the color story is right up my alley, but the quality in here, there's something extra special with the shimmer shades in here. They're extra sparkly. I really do enjoy the quality, color story, everything. I think it's absolutely lovely, and I can't wait to see what else she's going to do and give us next year. So let's see. I'm trying to keep it like one or two in each category just so it's not such a long video, because sometimes that can be overwhelming. So number 2 is, what indie release lived up to the hype most this year? And for me personally, it had to be Bella Beaute Bar, because last year they launched You Strange and Unusual palette and I feel like this blew everyone's mind. So this year, whenever it came to their Halloween launch, I feel like they had high expectations and I think they exceeded on. Basic Witch is the palette that really it was it for me. I think that it was an amazing color story, excellent formula, the shimmers and the mattes. I think that they definitely blew us out of the water with this Halloween launch, so they definitely lived up to the hype for their Halloween palette. So it's like next year, what are they gonna do? Can they keep living up to the hype? I bet they can. Let's see, number 3 is, which release did not live up to the hype? Okay, I feel like this is where I'm going to lose some of y'all. So, anything that Rare Beauty launches is extremely hyped up. It's like the it'll be all, if you don't love them, there's something wrong with you. But this is the Rare Beauty Lip Oil. This baby was so hyped up. Everyone was like, you have to have it. It is the best lip oil in the world. Okay, I bought it. I think it's a beautiful color nonetheless, but the formula ruined my lips. It made them, my lips were fine, and then when I put this on, after a few days, they were just chapped, like pilling. I looked terrible. So for me personally, this was a huge miss, but I gave this to my daughter. She wanted it because it's, Selena Gomez. I was like, do you like the product or you just want it because of who it is? She loves it, and her lips look fine, so maybe it's a me thing, but she adores this. So I don't know, everyone is so different, but for me, that did not live up to the hype at all. So let's see, are we at number 4? What's the biggest curveball? So for me, the biggest curveball, this is like a 2-in-1. So Glamlight, they became the new ColourPop, I feel like, in 2023. And it was so strange because ColourPop used to launch a new palette every single week, sometimes multiple. And it's like, where are you? Where have you been? Like, they launch very far in between. And I feel like Glamlight really took over that role of just constantly, like, pushing out palettes. And it's not necessarily, like, their palettes. It's collab palettes. So I would like to see them do more collections just based off what they want versus collabing with people or movies, things like that. They're very strong in like the horror era right now. So yeah, for me that was a huge curveball, seeing Glamlight become the new ColourPop in a way. And hey, it doesn't affect me one bit. You can launch a palette every single day for all I care. But as a consumer, it's just too much. It's too much. It makes me take a step back and I'm like, okay, you're launching so much, I just can't get into it. But I know a lot of people love that, and there's obviously, they have something for everybody because they're launching so much. But I just thought, I was like, wow, I did not even consider them being that way, just launching constant stuff. And I did not think that ColourPop would take a break. So I feel like ColourPop 2024, like January 1st, they're going to be like, look at my new palette. Like, they're going to be launching so much, I think. Let's see, number 5, what was the biggest letdown snooze fest of this year? I feel like everyone's going, not everybody, I feel like most of us will have to say the Pat McGrath mothership. Pat McGrath always comes out with one mothership every single year, and this year it was a complete miss. Was it Sunlit Seduction? I'll pop a picture. It looks like the other motherships. It was a very big letdown. She also came out with some 6 pans earlier in the year. That was a letdown. in general, Pat McGrath as a brand was a letdown for me personally. I know that brand is very hyped up, so for me, I was expecting so much this year because she's had lots of criticism based off stop launching pinks and golds and mauve tones, and look what we keep getting. So that was a huge letdown. Also, I wanted to mention the Odin's Eye holiday launch this year. I know last year, like kind of like Bella Beaute Bar, they exceeded my expectations. Last year they did amazing with Strange and Unusual. This year they did Basic Witch. It's like I cannot, like, it's so good. Kind of same thing with Gourmand Girls. Spooked, and then this year they had Haunted. They're keeping up, you know? They have big shoes to fill each year. They're setting the bar higher and higher. And last year Odin's Eye, they had the Merry Christmas palette, the Christmas Eve palette, and those were extremely hyped up. I have personally have the Merry Christmas palette, and I think it's amazing. So this year they launched like the reindeer palette, the snow something palette, and I'm sure in person they're prettier than what the pictures look like online, but for me it was so boring and muted, just not it for me. But I feel like a lot of people do love that color story, and I think it's going to be prettier in person. But for me, it was just a huge letdown. I was expecting so much because of what we saw last year, so this time I was super excited, and whenever it came out I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to save my money. Let's see. Are we at number 6? Yes. What was the unsung hero of 2023? So for me personally, I always think of lip products, and this one, I don't think it launched this year, but this was the year I discovered it. This is the Bubble Pop Electric Candy from Give Beauty. This smell, like the formula, it's fine. It's nothing revolutionary. Like, I enjoy it. It's a little sticky, so really just, I wasn't expecting to love it, but it's what I'm wearing today. It just makes my lips look so luscious, and I bought this when my lips were so chapped because of the Rare Beauty lip oil. My lips were like Vaseline couldn't even help them, and then I put this on, and my lips within 24 hours were better. So I was like, okay, I'm onto something. So for me personally, this was just my saving grace this year. Also, it's right in front of me. This is the e.l.f. Lippy, the what are you called? Hold on. It's not even on here. Are they called the satin lip bees or whatever? You know what I'm talking about. e.l.f. is such a hot brand, and for me personally, these lipsticks are amazing. I have the shade No Doubt. Yes, it's beautiful. Like, if I ever finish this, I will definitely repurchase. I'm always using these as a combo, so these were the two lippies that they blew my mind this year. Let's see. We are on number 7. What was the best holiday release this year? I feel like I'm a little underwhelmed with the holiday launches that we have seen this year. That's not a bad thing because, you know, I get to save some money. But at the same time, I feel like there were so many amazing holiday launches last year and the year before. So this year I was like, okay. Like the NARS blush palette, that's cute. I have it back here, but you know, it's just a blush palette. But for me personally, the eyeshadow palette that was the best holiday launch, it was the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. I did not expect to love this as much as I do, just because I love a sparkly shimmer, and these are just, I don't know, they're beautiful, they're effortless. There's something about this palette that I reach for all the time. If I've got somewhere to be and I need a pretty look really fast, I'm reaching for this. If I have a meeting, something like that, if we have doctor's appointments, whatever, I'm reaching for this palette. 10 out of 10. Amazing. So I was very excited. Initially I was like, oh, okay, it's a neutral palette. I know the quality is going to be good, but once I started using it, I'm like, okay, this is the best holiday launch for me personally. Let's see. I keep losing my number. What was the best, are we there? Yeah. What was the best collab of 2023? So, holy moly, I don't have it on hand. It already shipped. Talk about fast shipping. But the Melt, and they did a collab with Bailey Sarian. That for me was the highlight. The best collab palette of 2023 for me personally. Wow, that is super, super exciting, and I think the color story is amazing. I love that we're getting an all matte palette, because whenever I reach for my Melt palettes, I always use Indie Shimmers, and I use the matte, so I'm excited to see, one, Bailey finally get this collab because she's always using Melt, and I'm also excited just to use the mattes because I love their matte formula so much. But a collab palette that I actually have on hand that I use so much, this is in collaboration with Odin's Eye and Lauren May Beauty, the Sea Talk palette. I did not, honestly, I didn't expect to love it as much as I do. I reach for it all the time. It's just a staple in my collection, and I did not, it blew me away. I feel like I also tried the Flora Story palette, but I feel like Lauren was like, I need a little bit, like, I feel like she was just like pushed on like more sparkle. Like, the shimmers in here are so pretty. The mattes are unique. So, I don't know. I just feel like she did something extra special with her quality. So, that's why it just stood out. Also wanted to mention, oh, I forgot to pull this out, but Heather Austin did a collab with Unearthly Cosmetics. Isn't that just so exciting? But the Resurgence palette, do I reach for this all the time? No, but the quality is beautiful. Sorry if you hear my neighbor's dog barking. They always start barking when I film. But this palette is so fun. And like Christmassy, you could do Halloween, Valentine's Day. Like there's so many different like holiday-esque vibes you can get with this. But the shimmers knocked my socks off. So I wanted to mention these two collab palettes of the year for me. And then last but certainly not least, it says, what are your predictions for the releases next year? I feel like I could do an entire video. I think I did an entire video last year on all of my predictions, but for me personally, I already said it earlier, ColourPop, I feel like they're going to be launching so much because I feel like they took a step back this year and they were like analyzing like what do we want to do going forward. So I feel like we're going to see a lot more from them next year. Also, this one, I just wanted to answer like one main prediction. I feel like we are going to see a big boom as far as holochromes. Like, you know, there are so many multi-chromes, but it's like, how many shifts can you possibly get? You know, Davina, Terra Moons, Cleona, all, I'm trying to think, like, there's so many brands that do single shadows beautifully, but how many shifts can you do? You know, how many color combos are left to give? So I feel like we're going to see them just sprinkle some holochromes in them, maybe add a few tweaks, and we're going to just see a whole lot of holochrome single shadows. That's just my prediction, because like I said, it's like, how many more multi-chromes can we get that's so unique and different? Because you're going to end up duping yourself. So it's like, okay, let's just relaunch everything but add some holochromes in there, you know what I mean? Anyways, guys, absolutely love watching these tag videos. I love creating them. I'm kind of like on a crunch as far as time, so I couldn't spend such a long time filming this, but I hope you enjoyed all of my picks, all of the good, the bad, predictions, all of that. Let me know down below. I have the questions listed so you can like answer them if you would like. But that's going to do it for today's video. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're doing well. I hope that you are healthy, happy, and safe. Stay beautiful. Bye, guys. Yeah.